The next setup is from the fountain poets of Wales. True to their name and nature, they present a collaborative flow of words on a watery theme. From the first hint of rain to the vastness of the Atlantic, there will be drought and flood, a birth amid the Glastonbury mud, wild swimming, danger, a very dark dreamscape, tadpoles, seals, a couple of mermaids, and a great many birds. Here are Clare Diprose, Jo Waterworth, Sarah Butler, Ewan Macphearson, Morag Kiziewicz, and Anna Bolton. They would like to thank Rachel Klein for advice on presentation, and I think a bit of help from a green stick. And some of the fountain poets have got publications on the book table, which you're welcome to peruse after the discussion which comes immediately after this. So, over to Water, the Wells poets.
I'm in the garden at last, hanging out the washing, though it might rain. Sheets flap in my face, wings of swans. Here comes the rain, a few drops, a downpour, water, welter, thunder, slam, hammer, bang, lightning strikes, rip-roaring thunder crashes, wind howls, rain horizontal, rain torrential, daily rain. For the rain we are about to receive, may our water butts be truly thankful. Old rain, bored with this Atlantic darkness, lifts the drain covers, drills its fingers against the pane. The dogs, depressed, slink closer to the sodden earth. They need a therapist, and so do I. I like to give advice. I'm not on plain rain. On my life's map, each inch could make a mile. I look for rivers, but all I see is rain. Late at night, the waters broke. Downpourings, hour after hour, disturbed our sleep with dreams of drowning. In the morning, pooled and puddled pastures mirror exhausted sky. A dozen long-tailed tits chitter among the dripping sycamores, flick in and out of sight. The stream, gone feral overnight, blunders between its banks, brandishing branches. The lane spawns a river, caramel, swollen, pumping iron. We're waiting for a chink, the blink of a watery sun, the risky plunge of a serotine bat into the dark chill, first stirrings of a queen wasp. Together, in a London park, umbrella up, we kiss, our lives like raindrops in the scented air. Alone with grief, the roses yet to bloom, raindrops, tear stains, black cloud, the gleam of distant sun. Rain came last night, danced till dawn on the double Romans, kicked mounds of moss into the street, downed pint after pint, merrymaking in the downpipe, giggling in the gutter, singing off-key in the alley. This morning the party-goers sleep it off in puddles, the streets wash clean and steaming. Earthed, watered, all muddied up. Years of memories glitter, star-strewn, waterwoven, sparkling in the sun. A wet week for the festival. On this dairy farm, a bus. Within the bus, a woman. Within the woman, a baby. Water without, water within. Membranes break open, floods on the fields, floods on the floor. Cows bellow, on all fours the woman bellows, opening like a Russian doll, inside a bus, on a field, on a farm, in the rain.
These minerals made me. This water filled my flesh. My weight enters silently. It is enough to raise the levels, drip over the lip, flood the plain, meet volcanic springs, slip through earth's mantle.
Sandbags at my door. The rivers are rising.
Sea takes possession of the land without warning, takes our livelihood, our fields and houses. Water rises, lights go out. Hope is a small bird, a memory of coracles. Life shrinks to survival, courage, a rainbow.
On the floodplain, not much has changed. People are swept away. People drown. Animals and cars in trees, trees in lakes, scattered belongings adrift. China, funding nuclear power in Somerset, ready for the tsunami. Dead fish go with the flow. I see no gain in treating every crossroads as a trial. I look for rivers, but all I see is rain.
In the earliest inscriptions, a wavy line signifies water. A spring gives birth to a river, meander, oxbow, meander, through a maze of landscape, dawdles in lazy loops across the plain, making for a sea of wavy lines drawn by the moon. Today, I feel my moon is on the wane. Just for today, the dark clouds suit my style. I like to give thanks. I'm not one to complain.
These woods once echoed to explosions, now full of the music of water. Spring water, white waterfall, silver millstream, pour downhill, down valley, over rocks, millstone, grindstone, limestone, saltpeter, sulphur, charcoal, ground to fine gunpowder, ammunition cleansed in the secret pool.
One way to cross the river was to walk the pipe, gripping the round surface. Another was to seek the slippery stones below water, feel the cold flow. Instep arches, toes find purchase, arms rise as if for flight, let go.
Ah, the rush of the current, catching breath, tugging ankles in a torrent. Find the next stone somewhere into the unknown. Too far to turn back. Trust the stones. Hurry, stumbling, footprints in the mud. Reach the other side.
While you swim the borderlands, the Mono's red flood rouged with foam, the Froom is mine, best worn in late summer, spotted with discs of gold, flashy with the low sun's lurex. Our rivers are velvety. We love to slip our hands through their folds, slide their soft stuffs between our thighs, feel them silken on the tender skin that's hidden in the elbow's crease. Water loops, icy round our throats, slow to warm like pearls. Embroidered with goose flesh, we shrugged river from our shoulders, stepping out in our separate counties.
I'm thinking how it might be now, the watermill.
Wonder if you can still wade out midstream, watch the water pounding through the mill race.
Do you remember when the temperature went down to -15? They opened the sluice gates to flood the grazing marshes, so they'd freeze.
We skated over grass.
That's where I watched the kingfishers diving.
And further along, the cattle would wade in on hot summer days when the flies were bad.
But the mill's all done up to the nines. 2 black Audis parked outside, and a sign, no waiting.
Now that we've said too much, let's take the picnic down to the river anyway. We can walk downstream to where the water shallows, see if the dipper's still there. A passing mallard drifts across looking for crumbs. I didn't mean it, you know.
A swan, 2 mallards and a purple balloon float on their reflection.
What do you see when you peer down there? Part the bulrush glide through pondweed, digits webbed, limbs trailing. Watch out for the nymphs, carnage and mayhem, deceptive nymphs with their hooked lips impaling. Nymph the impaler, tadpole impaled, years of hunting down in the depths, mud dark and slimy, detritus deep, nowhere to hide from this hawk. Mirror carp slides by, barely a ripple.
I would be silver to your gold, moon to your sun. I would be water to your earth, all to your one. The onions are running to seed, each in a pointed cap.
The courgettes are static.
Each radish has a hairpin of root.
The squashes lack generosity.
Even the weeds are stunted.
The pond has shrunk to a bog.
Each water box down to a scoop of muddy soup.
Cumulus clouds mass and darken and pass south of the garden, then build and pass again.
There's a lick of drizzle. Plants stand in their own rain shadows until the wind rubs them out.
Nothing for it. I take the hose, fill the butts, and water everything. It takes all morning.
That'll make it rain, I say to a neighbour, who looks askance.
From the church field, a loudspeaker announces the start of the village fete. The first drops fall.
Tonight, the sky is a map of your absence. 8 time zones below the western rim. You tell me of wildfire, dry months of winter, wells drilled deeper. You send me bright noon. I send you clouded night and rumours of rain.
High summer, the gardens parched, the hosepipe banned, the sky a burning glass. It takes 3 men to move the stone. The well draws us together silences us. We see our upturned faces, the close sets, a circle of reflected sky, the close set stonework of the wall. We breathe the cool and mossy smelling air of that place between the worlds.
There were fish swimming through the sky, but it didn't feel like a dream.
There was a rare black and white bird with a beak made for probing pond mud. And as I watched, it became a man who removed his costume and teased me.
There were more fish climbing out of their tank, gasping for air to breathe. Still, there were marvellous fish about me, like living jewels. We were all breathing water, but it didn't matter.
There was conversation so dull I collected all the crockery and began to wash it in sinks like vats. And this was all as real as it comes. Waking to another dull day. That was the unreal part.
Times when the weather's foul, the atmosphere or the news is hard to bear. Why not retreat to the comfort of a bath? Eyes shut, ears submerged, you hear the fizz of bubbles as they stream up from your hair, floorboards adjusting to the water's weight, the steady trickle topping up the tank, the gurgle as fresh cold mingles with warm.
You won't hear the storm, the radio news, the guilt, the blame. You'll see a spangled gloom, but not the room, the peeling paint, the mildewed ceiling, or the hairline on the wall. Nor imagine it a crack too deep to fill.
I would be water to your earth, sea to your shore. I would be ever-changing, and always more. The pebble in my pocket fits my palm, sits cool under my thumb.
I need no shell to tell me of the sea. The sea is with me every day.
Shush and whisper, rush and wash of shingle, black racks sit thither, suck and tangle.
Shrill syllables of kittiwake and tern, curlews purling loops of song.
Salt on my tongue, gripped on goosebump skin.
The sea's cold kiss, this stone.
You know that feeling when you're by the sea, the world gone home, a lonesome beach?
Maybe it's September, the light's starting to soften, seaweed gently rocking in the pools.
The mudstone slabs stacked one to another, catnapping on the sand.
Silky sunset. And then the first trickle of a turning tide fingers its way in.
Unhurried, insidious.
There's a cairn, rock and pebble chest high, built on the shoreline.
2 nights it lives through swollen breakers, the cut and tear of shingle sucked back.
On the 3rd night, something barely seen, swift, deadly, slips across the bay.
A riptide hits it sideways on, lays waste.
You followed him down to the shoreline, remember? The tide coming in fast, raw, undisciplined. Your skirt blown wet between your legs, eyes straining in the white light.
He'd swum out through heavy surf, dividing the breakers like Moses.
You see him in and out of the oily swell. He turns his head to breathe.
One arm over, then the other.
turns to driftwood, turns, breathes. You skirt the coastal pines and then you're out, the beach wide open, the shore a distant shiver, sand whipping your ankles.
You can see where February's storms poured into the dunes, ancient footprints uncovered by violent seas.
A group of 5 hominids moving north to south, appear, disappear.
If you stand here on this crumbling edge, peer down into the rough gash to the thin bay where blackened boulders are tumbled and heaped, you'll see the pup, all creamy fur wedged in against wet rock, lying on its back. Its mother, close in, treads water in the heavy swell, eyeing us upon the path above. The pup raises a flipper. We wave back.
Turn your back on the pull of the heartstop drop, the gap-toothed rocks, the heaving black sea wrap. Find one foothold, one handhold at a time, face to face with tussock and lichen-stained outcrop. Make it to the top. Sit safe in a green hollow and listen to the keening of wind and water.
Lines drawn in the fine sand, scribbled by the highest wave. The ebb flow licks, leaves a trace of spittle. There's a west wind, rain coming in, the waves smear light across the wide beach, shuffle and reshuffle the sky. And you, upside down, walking away from me, beneath your own bare feet.
The sea reeled us in. We'd swum too often in cold salt water, it moved in our blood. When it tugged, we had to answer like migrating birds.
The weather on the turn, we turned too. North, over the island's back. Late swallows dipped over the heather.
Above this rough red flank, we saw Mediterranean blue, intense as chocolate.
The hill, an arm in a tweed jacket, curved around the pale, naked shoulder of sand.
Down the path, boots off, glasses stuffed in a trouser pocket, swimsuits pulled on under shirts, wind snatching at bare flesh.
The empty beach glittered. We ran, hesitated on a curve of licked sand, swam. The sea hit, cold and uplifting, turquoise deepened to a purple horizon.
We pulled handfuls of clear water. Our shadows followed green sharks. Below us, folding and unfolding, a mesh of rippled light.
Barefoot up the track, shod in mica, we were silvered, mermaid-tailed. We shared the last green and blacks, fractured and dark in gold foil.
In the night, thunder cracks open sleep.
Silence.
The slow hiss of rain.
A roar of falling water.
Dawn, surfacing over and over on waves of dreams.
Chorus of seagulls.
Light between slats. In one corner of the window, a brighter square of sky.
Daylight whitens the bedclothes.
2 swimming costumes hang like spent skins.
Skin diving under the waves. Deep green shadows. I have been there before. Before water covered the shore, I have been there before, free and weightless.
In the depths I meet myself.
Breakers flecked with white, fall jade and black. Surfers ride the swell, their hair, their limbs, sun and salt. How far you come, O sea, what things you bring. A wooden crate drunken on the beach, the word naranjas stenciled, and still the smell of oranges.
You have to choose your moment for crossing to Steepholm.
The ferry sidles crabwise across the pull of the tide.
And just when you wonder why you've overshot the island,
The skipper cuts the motor, lets the current take the boat.
and swing you straight and safe to the one landing place. We never know the sea, flecked with gold, a glimpse of curves, attraction we can never bear. We learn to mould our lives to hers. What bliss tonight to lie and listen to the ocean breathing, and the drawn-out roar when the 7th wave thunders in sea caves, leaps the low-tide rocks and shatters to foam all along the shore. And the call of some bird, Vik! 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 across the bay under the waning moon. Soon I'll be landlocked, lullabied by fresh water. The hours of listening salted away.